Not the friendliest security guy I've come across. We meet again.
Come to take a swing at me, have you? Make it good. Make it very good. It'll be the only one you get.
I've got better things to do, like find out some answers.
I knew you were one of those pen is bigger than the sword assholes. Get lost.
That's a shame. I figured you of all people would know everything about everyone on this station. I guess I was wrong.
Hey, I know every damn thing. It's my job.
I don't think a hired gun would know the answers to my questions.
Well, why don't you try me, dickwad?
What do you do here?
Listen, Irish. We got niggers, kikes, slant-eyed spicks, and Asians all cooped up within spitting distance of each other. If it wasn't for me, we'd have all sorts of racial shit breaking out.
What is it like to work here?
Boring, boring, boring. Tell you what, your boy going down the plug hole was the most excitement we've had in months.
Thank you for your compassion and understanding.
Huh? Anyway, you're lucky you get to go home soon. I'm stuck on this rock for another 8 weeks. It sucks.
What is your background?
Originally, I trained to be a combat pilot. I had the reflexes and the attitude, but I never was any good with machines, so the bastards threw me out. I'm glad they did. All those smart-ass jockeys are real sleazeballs. I got a much more important job now.
How well did you know Danny?
He was just another white coat. Didn't mean no harm to me, so I didn't cause no harm to him.
What do you know about Danny's death?
My guess is he fucked up. You put a techie in a scout, what do you expect? He wasn't a trained pilot. He shouldn't have been out there.
Did anything unusual happen before Danny's death?
I got called to a disturbance by the captain. Mad Dog Mayer was going crazy over something. He went all quiet when I got down there. Just gave me this dirty look. Shame. I kinda wish he would have taken a pop at me. I would have shown him who was boss.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
They step out of line, they're fist fodder.
Thank you for giving me a shoulder to cry on.
Whatever you say.
He's security. Hello there.
You shouldn't really be out here. Best to stay in your room.
I wanted to ask you something.
Okay, but make it quick.
What is your job?
I assist Ward. If there's any trouble, I back him up.
What's it like to work here?
There's not much to do around here. We rarely get any trouble. We're mainly here as a deterrent to other companies who want to steal our stuff. Corporation war mentality. Don't trust them. Fuck them.
What is your background?
I was a member of the United Planets Peacekeeping Force up until the time they were disbanded by the pro-rearmament lobby. Then I was snapped up by Kobayashi.
How well did you know Danny?
I thought he was a nice guy. Didn't talk to him much.
What do you know about Danny's death?
As far as I'm aware, it was an accident.
Did anything unusual happen before Danny's death?
Well, Ward called me as a backup to an argument between the captain and Mayer, but it was all under control by the time we arrived. That Mayer is one dangerous son of a bitch.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
They don't give us any trouble, but we have to watch them closely regardless.
Thank you for your help.
It was nothing.
this is quiet. If it was busy, I wouldn't even be talking to you.
What is your job?
I handle all communications into and out of Cerberus, plus near-space traffic control and computer operations. The control center is my baby. The Cap and La Paz, they think they run the joint, but at the end of the day, it all goes through me.
What's it like to work here?
Susan La Paz is my wife, so it's not as bad for me as it is for some of the others.
What is your background?
I've done this job since I left the academy, and now I just follow in my wife's footsteps.
How well did you know Danny?
Never spoke to the guy. I normally only meet people when they want to send a transmission to their families. He never did.
Did anything unusual happen before Danny's death?
I don't really know. There's been a massive increase in communications recently, and all of my time has been taken up with that.
What do you know about Danny's death?
It's my job to stop ships hitting each other. Your son's scout was the only ship out there that day.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
I'll tell you one thing. When their supply ship comes once a month, it holds a defense position nearby while the shuttle goes back and forth. They do not trust us.
How do you relax on this rock?
You don't. You just keep working. No, seriously. There's the bar, the gym, the TV room, or you can just sit in the garden. I'm okay. I've got my wife, but I wouldn't like to try my chances with the women around here.
What's wrong with the women around here?
Don't tell anyone I said this, but Bernard and Chew are over the hill. Ramon's engaged, and G-Spot.
Who's G-Spot?
G-Spot Gina Brooks, the pilot, otherwise known as G-Force, depending on how you fly her, you know what I mean.
What's wrong with Brooks?
If you're hung like a horse, and you got the stamina of an ox, there's nothing wrong with her at all. She's, demanding.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
Me? Hell no. My wife would kill me. I just hear things over the radio from other stations. G-Spot's legendary.
I thought G-Spots were just mythical.
You got that right.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see you around.
I wanted to thank you for your words at the funeral. They meant a lot to me.
He was a good man. I meant what I said. Anyway, are you packed and ready to go? When the Kushiro's back in range, the shuttle will only have a window of half an hour to rendezvous.
Yeah, about that. I was wondering if I could stay a little longer, until the Kushiro brings the next supply pod.
That's a whole week. Why on earth do you want to stay?
I want to get a feel for this place. It's where my son spent his last months alive. It's a sentimental thing, really.
Out of the question. I can't have unauthorized personnel wandering around my station. Regulations forbid it.
But if I could just...
No, that's an order.
What is your job?
I make sure this place runs smoothly.
How difficult is it to ensure smooth running?
There may only be 20 people stationed here, but that's both Kobayashi and Mogami Hudson people. And they're two completely different companies, even different cultures. There's always some disagreement or other to sort out.
What's it like to work here?
We are 20 people living and working in a confined space, millions of miles from the nearest planet. It's both crowded and lonely at the same time. The work is uneventful but important.
It must be harder for you. The loneliness of command and all that.
At least I have a job to do. It keeps me busy. What do you do now that you've run out of funerals to attend, that is?
Well, I just sit around the retirement home all day. Now listen, Shannon, you may have 10 years of youth on your side, but I have 10 years more experience. You shouldn't make bets if you don't know the odds. What is your background?
I started out as a junior officer on board company freighters, working my way up to captain. I'm a leader of men, and I run a tight ship.
How well did you know Danny?
I like to get to know all my people. They are my family. I knew Danny well enough to like him and respect his work.
What do you know about Danny's death?
It was a terrible accident. As I am ultimately in charge of this facility, I take responsibility.
What was the result of the investigation?
As you know, Daniel's scoutcraft was lost in the black hole, so we don't have any evidence as to what exactly happened. And I refuse to send any more of my people out to that probe. One death is enough.
Did anything unusual happen prior to my son's death?
Mayor threatened to kill me. He has this aversion to authority, but things seem to have calmed down now.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
They're primarily a mineral exploitation company. Mining, prospecting, that sort of thing.
Who is your most trusted crew member?
I trust all my crew, Mr. McCormick, or else they wouldn't be on my station.
I have no further questions for you.
If there's anything else I can help you with, please feel free to ask.
I've never heard of these switches actually being used since the war. I'll consider all my other options before resorting to such an extreme course of action. You were working with Danny, weren't you?
Sometimes, yes. I'm sorry about your loss, Mr. McCormick. We all are.
What is your job?
I'm just your run-of-the-mill, jack-of-all-trades scientist, I guess. I doctored in mathematics, so that qualifies me for just about anything.
What's it like to work here?
It was good. I enjoyed it. Well, as much as you can enjoy being stuck in the middle of nowhere with 19 people who don't get on.
You say was good. What changed?
You, of all people, should know that. Danny was my friend, my best friend. Everything's different now.
I'm sorry. I should have realized.
That's all right. We both lost someone close to us.
What is your background?
I've been working out in the field for 3 years now. Prior to that, I was at university.
How well did you know Danny?
He was a good friend. Whatever happened, no matter how many problems he had, he was there for me when I needed him. Out here, you need all the help you can get just to get by.
What do you know about Danny's death?
I only know that it's affected us all deeply.
Did anything unusual happen before Danny's death?
No, nothing at all. Everything was fine.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
They're different from us, but live and let live is what I say.
I'll talk to you later, if I may.
I'll be happy to help you in any way I can.
He works in the Kobayashi Labs. Have you got a minute?
Sure. Feeling sick?
No, I just wanted to ask you something.
Oh, right. Well, fire away.
What is your job?
I administer healthcare to people on board. I'm also a trained surgeon and paramedic. If there's an emergency, we can't afford to wait for a deep space freighter to get to a hospital. I have to do it on my own.
And if you get taken ill?
Then it's a case of physician, heal thyself.
What's it like to work here?
There's not much for me to do most of the time. People who do deep space research have to be certified medically fit before they can work out here.
What is your background?
After 7 years in med school, I went straight into on-site company health maintenance.
How well did you know Danny?
I only ever saw him on his monthly checkup. He never had any other illnesses.
What do you know about Danny's death?
I never saw the body, so I couldn't perform an autopsy.
Did anything unusual happen before Danny's death?
Ward had a minor operation to have a wisdom tooth out, but other than that, just the normal headaches and hangovers.
What do you know about Megami Hudson?
Not a lot. They don't get ill very often, and their monthly checks are done by their own doctors.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I have to go now.
Call me if you need me.